Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Sometimes I just wish that my dick was smaller. Like, if my dick was smaller, none of this would have happened. Did she ever talk to you about it?
Wait, about your dick?
Yeah.
No, Bill.
Hello, boys and girls. I mean, men and women, because let's be honest, you guys are all here to listen to me talk. And, you know, I've been thinking about that a lot recently. And sometimes I just wish that my dick is smaller, you know? Maybe if it was just a little bit smaller, I wouldn't have to, like, you know, be so good at what I do.
Dan, are you making fun of me right now?
I don't think so, because in the reference of...
This isn't cool, because sometimes I wish that my dick was smaller. And I feel like you're just saying that to make fun of me.
You know, I might be making fun of you. Sometimes I don't have control over myself simply because I don't know what's on your mind all the time. I know you and I are really close, but we're not too close to where we share the same mind via cyberspace. But I can say that I'm not going to rule it out as impossible that I'm making fun of you.
I'm not going to rule it out as impossible.
Well, yeah, then I guess your dick's small and I wish mine was smaller.
And I wish mine was smaller. Welcome to Old Boys Podcast.
If you didn't like that, that was the most ridiculous line of dialogue from the film we watched this week. My name is Dan.
Oh boy.
And that is Jared. Say hi, Jared.
Hi. Hello. I'm Jared.
Perfect. And the Old Boys Podcast is a show where we watch a film on Netflix and or Amazon Prime and or wherever we can get a hold of one. This week was a Netflix film, and we watched a Netflix... Was it an original? Netflix? No, it wasn't an original.
No, I don't know.
It was just
it was at Sundance and shit.
Yeah, it was at Sundance. And it won a lot of awards at Sundance, but on IMDb it only has a 5.0 out of 10, which is weird.
Yeah, it seems like all the normo people don't give a fuck about this movie.
So this film is called Bitch.
Bitch.
I said
bitch. I love Key and Peele. We're going to be making that joke a lot. This movie is called Bitch, so I apologize right now.
Anyway.
Okay, so let's get into this movie.
Yeah, let's talk
Bitch.
about some bitches, man. Some
guys.
Bitch.
If you're offended by us saying bitch, turn this podcast off.
How about not name your fucking
it
movie Bitch, and then I won't fucking say it. I mean, it's all your fault,
Dan,
duh.
What are your first impressions of Bitch?
Okay, this is difficult. I'm still grappling with it. I really want to like this movie because I think I do. But the film sort of, in my opinion, goes against its own message. Kind of like Zootopia, in a way, where it's like they set all this stuff up, and then once they're done setting it all up, the end result of this film, how everything, you know, comes all together and it works out, is completely against what they had already set up. I like the premise a lot. I like the actors a lot. The one thing I do not like, that I think is what's the cause of my anxiety about not liking this film, is I fucking hate the fact that the husband gets away with it.
Yeah, and that he's the center of attention too.
I
don't like how
bothered
the
me
movie is all about him.
A lot. Like, he was a scumbag from the beginning, and then we have to watch him not get to be not a scumbag until he finally is like, okay, I guess I won't be a scumbag anymore. Like, he's given so many bouts of redemption, he's just like, fuck that shit. And then whenever he finally realizes all the shit he's done, it's like, no, sometimes you don't, like, it's not, no, sometimes you always get a second chance, but whenever it comes down to your fifth or sixth chance, bro, like, Like, I did not like the fact that it had a good ending, I guess.
Yeah. This movie did not need a good ending.
No,
I don't
it needed a
understand
terrible
that shit
ending. It needed to.
I don't know why the titular bitch didn't end up killing anyone. I was like, really? In a film like this? How did she not murder anyone?
Can we, like,
Especially her
rename
husband.
our podcast The Titular Bitches?
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Oh, man. So
my
we'll get
first
into...
impressions-
What? You have any more first impressions?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll wait. I'll wait to say we'll get into it after your first impressions.
Yeah, that's funny. So my first impressions, I would have to say it was all right.
Didn't like
I
it,
mean,
really.
I kind of feel the same way you do, Dan. This movie
It was weird.
definitely went somewhere I didn't think it was
Yeah.
going to go. Like, I had expectations, and like, if you're watching a film and you think you're going to watch a romantic comedy and it turns into, like, I don't know, whatever the exact opposite of that is, that's what happened. I was like, what? Okay, it's just this? All right. Like, I thought she was going to be some weird, like, werewolf type of thing where she turns into the bitch, and it's like a persona that she becomes, and then, like, goes out and, like, does things, or maybe, I don't know, fights crime or something, and then comes back home, and she's normal, or, like, doesn't remember. But, like, no, the whole movie she is in, like, a basement shitting and pissing all over herself.
Yes.
And then the actual focus of the film is on the fucking dad, who is Bill, I believe. And if you don't like this character, you're not going to like the film.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about
It
him.
was very hard to sit through. I will say that.
And he's a real piece of shit. And they make him like a shitty character on purpose. So, like, he can, like, for a few reasons, because they're trying to find comedy in it. And some of it is kind of funny. And the rest of it's just, I'm, like, annoyed. I'm just like, I want to focus on the bitch. Let's go back to the bitch. I don't want to focus on you. And then the mom character gets replaced by her sister, and she just is filling in the role for the mom. Then I'm like, why even have this sister character?
You know, but, like, you kind of bring something up that I didn't even realize, but it makes a lot of sense. Like, as I was watching it, I was not cognizant of the fact that we were spending so much time with Dad.
I was
not.
I
But,
was
like,
this is
that
annoying.
makes so much sense because I fucking hate him. And, like, the only reason I hate him is because I have to sit with him the entire time.
Yeah. And I
Not the
feel like-
actor. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry we're shitting on your fucking character. But
I think everyone did a decent job in this movie. It's just some of the subject matter and the way they handle it, like you were
Absolutely.
saying, is off.
now, I do want to bring up, before we get
Sure.
into everything, that it is written, directed, and stars Mariana Polka is her name.
Oh,
So
wow.
the
Is she a
titular
bitch?
bitch is Mariana Polka.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. It's
Why
pretty
would
cool.
she write herself into the fucking closet for the whole movie?
Well, because directing and acting is hard to do at the same time, I
maybe
guess.
she knew she wasn't a very good actor. I don't know. She's
Maybe.
like, I'll give me a role that's...
I don't think she's that bad of an actor.
No, I thought she did a great job. And I thought the way this movie was filmed was pretty great. I just like some of what they could have done, I think.
Her first
And, like-
movie, her directorial debut, which she also starred in, with the same guy, Jason Ritter. So I guess Jason Ritter is her, like, lover boy, maybe, or is just
don't
always
know.
in her movies. But same couple, but the film is called Good Dick.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
Does his dick come to life and they have to lock it in the
I
basement?
don't know. I've never seen it. I'm going to think that's exactly what happens and never watch it.
So, one issue, they don't really focus on these two characters. So there's Jill and Bill, and I'm going to be saying Jill and Bill a lot because it makes me laugh. And there's a weird alliteration between Jill and Bill go down to the mill or something. And, like, there's a lot of different weird times where these double L words keep happening throughout the film. And I don't know why it made me laugh so much. But it does. I don't know. Maybe I'm a baby. Maybe I'm a baby. It's true.
They spilled the milk before they could
Yeah.
collect the till.
There's just a lot of scenes where it's like, Jill and Bill will go do this.
Jill and Bill wore together their frills on their way to the mill up the hill.
It was Jill and Bill clean up the spill. Somebody's like... I was trying to describe what was happening in a scene, and that's what I wrote down, and I just started laughing for a minute straight. Like, Jill and Bill clean up the spill. What the fuck?
I hope they don't get killed.
Oh. What a thrill. So, Jill and Bill's characters, their relationship together is not very well established. There's one scene where they're like, there's a lot of close-ups of them, and then Jill is like, do I look different? And he's like, you kind of look different. And they just kind of say that a few times. But you don't really feel the love that they had before all the bad stuff happened.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That could have helped me give a shit about what's happening in the film.
I don't know. I'm going to stop you here. Because are we past your first impressions? Are we starting to talk about?
Yes. Yeah. We're just talking into the thing.
The film opens up with her hanging herself with Bill's belt, right? Jill is going to hang herself with Bill's belt.
Mm-hmm. Jill and Bill.
Jill and Bill. Kill Bill. So he comes home after having slept with, or eaten out, his secretary. The wife's in bed, he comes home, and then she's like, you smell like perfume. And he's like, what? Because he's a douchebag. And then...
She still has a belt around her neck.
That's what I'm saying. That's what my point is. Like, we kind of get everything...
Uh-oh.
That's exactly what I thought, but we kind of get everything that we need to know out of Bill in that scene, because he doesn't ask why she has the belt on at all, and she very obviously has the belt on, probably bruises all over her neck. So...
You know what? I think some of the best scenes that I enjoyed a lot is with Mariana or whatever when she's not the dog. I was like, interested in that interaction.
Oh, dude.
Way more.
Oh, dude.
But I don't know.
I completely agree. Like the one where all the kids are like just yelling at her from the table, and then her back's to them, and you have no idea what the fuck she's about to do.
She's got that long fucking ring hair, like she's gonna jump out of a TV and murder you. Oh, I don't know what it is about long hair and how it's so fucking scary.
Well, I can pull it up, but I'd rather not.
What, your hair?
No, I have a whole PowerPoint presentation about the ring and how hair is scary.
Oh, I forgot you're a fucking nerd.
I mean, I probably should do it more because that's kind of the draw of our show, but I'm kind of lazy today, so I don't feel like looking for it.
Oh, so anyways, keep summarizing the film. I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
you are sorry.
After she
You're
tries
sorry
to
that
kill
I interrupted
herself,
you. Go on.
She's going through all this shit because her kids suck, her husband's cheating on her, she knows about it.
Yep.
And she just can't handle it anymore, so she goes fucking berserk. And by berserk, I mean she turns into a dog because she keeps staring at this dog.
That may or may not exist.
That may or may not exist, kind of like the dog from Gerald's Game. It looked almost exactly like the dog from Gerald's Game.
Yeah, very pretty dog.
Very pretty dog, very
Pretty
imaginary,
doggy.
possibly.
Look at a German Shepherd.
Yeah, some kind of German Shepherd mix. Anyway.
Yeah.
She turns into this dog, goes down to the basement because that's where she goes, and then the kids find her first, and they're like, Dad!
I hated that scene.
I hated that scene too. Please get the scene.
I hated this scene so much.
Let's just talk about it right now to get over it. So they're being so coy and stupid. Like,
we found Mom.
Where is she?
Thank God. Wait. We,
Mom is.
Mom's what? It's funny.
Guys!
You wouldn't believe it.
Well, we found her, but,
Someone tell me what is going on.
right now.
Mom is being a... She's not being herself.
We have to show you.
Totally.
You're not gonna believe it. And they're all like half laughing and just like their eyes are wide and they're looking at each other. It's like, we know something that you don't, and we think it's hilarious.
Would little kids actually act this way?
Hell no.
When they saw their mother in a basement, covered in shit and piss,
No.
barking at them like a dog.
No. I'd be like, what the fuck, Mom? I'm 5.
I'd be crying. That's what I'd be doing. If I was a little kid, I'd be crying uncontrollably. Probably getting eaten by my own mom.
So that happens, and then Bill has to make a very important choice. Does he do that? No. He starts failing. He starts failing as a dad, and then he's at his job. He's like, okay, should I try to get my girlfriend's job back, or should I get fired? And he gets fired, as well as the girlfriend, as well as the girlfriend as well.
As well as the girlfriend as well. Yeah, that's a right good, well sentence.
I can't talk. And then Beth comes
Dan?
over. Yes.
You're doing a great job.
I'm trying very hard.
Hey, and you look great.
I'm actually trying today, and I can't seem to not trip.
You're tripping.
Or say Anyway, Beth comes over and starts helping out with all the mommy duties because dad sucks.
Mommy duty.
I get it, because mommy dutied all over the basement.
She a bitch.
You know what? Fuck this. Let's just talk about the movie. We don't need to get any further. We're already 26
Dan,
minutes in.
You did such a great job. You don't have to finish.
Basically, they come, and by they, I mean Jill's parents, come and adopt the dog. And then Bill gets...
What did they just do?
They come and adopt the dog.
Jesus.
And then Bill gets visitation rights every 2 weeks. I'm sorry. And then what does he do? He fixes everything, and it's great. And that's the end of the film. It's a happy ending.
Oh no! And then the dad pretends to be a dog for like 5 minutes straight.
That's part of the thing I want to talk about. That's towards the end. Right. We'll get to it. Have to meet that quota. Shit.
We'll get to it quota.
Well, it used to be dick quota. Now it's we'll get to it.
I get what this movie is trying to do.
What is it trying to do? I don't think you do, actually. Please tell me.
Wow. A lot of negative energy coming from old Danny.
I just had a long-winded bullshit fest of trying to explain this movie because you asked me to.
Dan, it's your only job.
And the final word, which I'm currently thinking of right now. Not paying attention to you.
I would just say bitch like 10 times in a row.
No, I'm not going to do that.
It's easy and it's cheap, and curse words are always funny. There we go. Okay. I believe this film is trying to be empowering towards women.
Well, yes.
In the fact that a lot of women in the household schema, whatever you want to call it, the whole hierarchy of what's going on, they usually end up taking care of a lot of different chores and things in the house. In a normal, like, 1950s, like, this is how the household should be.
But the issue is, this is fucking 2017.
Yes.
Bill has, like, this, he's like pining for the 1950s where he's like, I finally got this job, I work 18 hours a day to provide for my family, and that's all I fucking need to do.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's this TV show I was watching where this lady, I think it's like 1950s, 60s, she tries to be a stand-up comedian, and it kind of, it's pretty good, and she goes into her, like, life and everything, but what she does is, at nighttime, before her husband wakes up, she will go and put makeup on and then go back to sleep. So when she wakes up, her husband only sees her at her best with makeup on and all this other shit. And apparently that they really did that back then, where they just hid how they looked from their husbands and always wore, like, they were always in good makeup and their hair was always perfect. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. So, like, she's going through a lot of lengths to take care of the husband and the kids to the point where later on in the film, we can talk about it now, is when they're talking about custody over who's going to get the bitch. He says that she literally dictates everything in his life. He's like a child, basically.
Yeah.
Where he can't remember or do anything, even get her own birthday present. She buys her own birthday present and says it's from him, and then thanks him for the birthday present that she got for herself. And he plays along with it because he's fucking crazy. But I can see that happening in a relationship, like people doing that.
Yeah, I can't.
And I know there's people right now in this modern day and age.
See, that's the difference between you and me.
There's dynamics like this still.
That's the difference between you and me.
Yeah.
You can see that, and I can't. Oh, never mind. It's not going to work anymore. I was going to say, I thought you were saying that I know some of those people. I'm like, and that's the difference between you and me. I hang out with good people.
No. I don't
degenerate.
know anybody like that, but it's believable. Like,
It's
how
not to me,
inept
though. I
and
can't,
stupid this guy is believable.
I don't, for me, it's not believable at all. Even though
he's the epitome. He's like in such an extreme of being a fucking jackass.
Well, that's
it's
why
out of control.
That's why I have such a hard time believing it, because he's the epitome. He's like the fucking pinnacle of jackassery, which is, I mean, it's an exaggeration, but like, it really makes your skin crawl. So
yes.
I feel
it's
like
supposed to.
Well, exactly, and I feel like that was the whole point of this, where it's like your skin is just, God, no. And it's not even
on its hands and knees.
It's not even like irreversible or old boy or like something that's visceral in that regard. It's like you have to deal with the psyche of somebody who thinks what he is doing is okay and acceptable, and
everything is
normal.
everyone else's fault.
Yeah,
you know, like not his fault. And it takes him such a long time to figure out that maybe it's him.
You know how long it takes him to figure
stop
it out?
blaming others?
About an hour and 5 minutes, somewhere around.
Yeah, I think it's like the last 5-10 minutes of the film where it's like a montage of him like just not actually being a shithole anymore. But by then I feel like it's way too late.
Well, that was my first impressions. Yeah, it's like it takes way too long to be stuck with this guy, and not with the titular bitch. Like, I feel like we're making really great strides in analysis and like why this film's so important, but then we undermine every point we make by saying titular bitch or just bitch or the
but
bitch.
That's the name of the movie. If the movie is comfortable with calling the film bitch, then I get.
But it's just the way in which we say it. I feel like that's what's undermining it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Miss Polka. You're great. Your movie's great. I'm
not saying it like I'm trying to call anybody a bitch. I just like saying the word because it's really fun.
I know.
2, there's an amazing Key and Peele sketch, which you've probably seen, where they talk about their wives in secret, only to each other. Where
they look around before they say
it. He's like, I said, what? You know, you can look it up. You can find it. It's fucking hilarious. So context is key, my friend.
Context is key.
Bitch.
Key bitch? I am the gatekeeper. I am the key bitch. There is no Dana.
The key bitch.
Only bitch.
Seriously. I love the cover of this film too. It's really cool.
Yeah, like minimalistic doggy.
Yeah. There's so many different things about this movie I should like. I don't know. It's okay. It definitely could have been better.
What I like about it is its uniqueness.
Oh, it is super unique.
I just don't like being forced to.
I just thought it would be more fun.
People who are not like me. Well, I'll give you that. That sounded really bad. Let me correct myself. I don't like being forced to identify with people who are more of an asshole than me.
Oh, so you felt like that guy was negatively reflecting how men are, and it
yeah. Well, I mean, not even because he was supposed to, but like it was just I have to sit down. Again, this is probably the point of the movie. You have to fucking sit down with this and be uncomfortable for a whole hour and a half. And
Yeah.
then whenever he
How
finally
shitty
is
this guy
supposed
is.
to get his comeuppance, it's a positive spin. And I'm like, this isn't working.
Yeah, that
He
didn't
doesn't
make
deserve
any
it at all.
sense. That's such a bad payoff.
So-
What should have happened is at the very end she should have ripped his throat out. That's what I wanted. I'm
Yeah.
like, just fucking kill this guy, please. Just do it. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be more fun. I thought it was gonna be more empowering, honestly, where it's just like she goes out and just fucking kicks somebody's ass, you know, like some weird crime fighting thing, or she's just like out of control. And then throughout the course of that, the shitty dad kind of learns to be better. I don't know. But it was more just kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's just really sad. a
So
lot.
before we venture on into this film,
Sure.
she has 4 kids. 4 kids. 4 kids.
Yeah. That's your first mistake.
4 kids. Dad looks like he's maybe
Don't
10
have
years
4
older
kids.
than the oldest one. So I'm going to
That's
show
true.
you.
He did look very young. In
I'm going to send you a image on IMDb of the 4 children in like a behind the scenes shot, and I want you to
Okay.
tell me which one do you think is the spawn of Satan?
Oh God, the spawn of Satan, huh? It's the youngest, whitest kid.
Yes,
on
the
far right.
youngest, whitest kid on the far right. Not the fact that he's making devil horns and has his tongue out, but his eyes are like black as night.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there's an evil presence there.
there's an
that
evil
is-
presence with this kid. His name is
Damien.
probably
It's
Kingston.
Damien.
I don't know. Yeah, Kingston. Then Rio is in the back, and then the girl Brighton Sharbino. You may know her as Look at the Flowers girl from Walking Dead. If you don't know what that is,
Nah, I don't fucking watch Walking
I don't
Dead,
fucking
man.
watch it either. But my wife does, and guess what? I have to watch it whenever she watches it.
Ah.
Otherwise, I'm not watching TV.
It sounds like your new stand-up. Like, otherwise, I'm not watching TV.
I'm sorry,
Hope for
that's
applause,
mean.
hope
Like,
for
I'm
laughs.
sure. I don't know. And no, I'm not sorry, because she fucking knows it's bad.
Oh.
She knows it's
damn.
bad. And she's like, why am I still watching this? I'm like, I don't fucking know. This is awful.
What are you guys on, like, season 58 right
She's
now?
caught
Of
up.
Walking Dead?
I have refused to watch at least 2 seasons. But then sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'll just fucking watch it. But yeah, like,
I got bored at the second season.
yeah,
and I couldn't
no.
even
The
make it
first
past
season
that.
is the only good season. That's it.
Yeah, and it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Because then what happens is they run out of plot. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do next. Even though they have a graphic novel to follow, they probably still fucked it up. This is all me talking shit, by the way, without having watched the show, which I will never do.
I was just giving you reference because some of our listeners may be familiar with Look at the Flowers because it became a meme and it was stupid.
No, let's talk about Walking Dead. People will be more interested in that, and maybe we'll get better views.
That's actually very true. But we didn't watch The Walking Dead. We watched.
Bitch. So we open up.
Well, we already talked about opening up.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Oh. So, talk to me about some of your notes.
Well, the whole aspect of her trying to hang herself, I mean, it was disturbing and also an enjoyable part of the film of her like just begging and crying for help.
Mm-hmm.
And no one is listening. Like, she goes to her husband constantly, is like, I'm losing my mind. I really need help. Like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go on this retreat with my sister and go do art, you know? And he's just totally ignoring her. And to the point where he doesn't even realize that, that a belt around her neck is weird, or that, what is that chandelier or whatever thing is broken because she tried to hang herself from it.
It never gets fixed. But the camera
they
does
leave
a
it
good
there.
job of making sure that you see that it's still on the ground and making sure
Yeah.
that the kids are seen looking at it still
Yeah.
on the ground. You're like, what's this here, Mom?
No one ever touches it.
Yeah.
For like months. I mean, the dad. So the turning point for the dad is when he cleans that up. That's when he starts trying to be a good person. So like
But
that's the whole.
Did he even
symbolism behind
fucking know that she was trying to kill herself?
Probably not. The sister figured it out, I think. But that's supposed to be representative of someone's finally paying attention and trying to help this mom through whatever issue she's having. You know what I mean? Like, he's finally coming to terms with, like, maybe I'm being a selfish asshole and maybe she needs attention.
Yeah, but before you fucking get that, you
help.
get him screaming at the top of his lungs about how selfish his wife is. Which is...
Yes, oh yeah.
Oh my god. Like, I don't
Which
like it
is
whenever
played
I
for
get
comedy,
angry
right?
and yell
It's
at
supposed to be
people.
funny.
It's not.
I guess. Because it's like, it's absurdist to where he is just so selfish and self-centered.
Well, okay. Do you think, because I don't think that this is the case, but I just, whenever you think of the word absurdist, do you think that it needs to be, like, have an element of humor to it?
Not necessarily.
No, not really. So, like, absurd can be dark. But then again, like, I think they call it gallows humor, like, if we really think of it, just like, you know, a dark sense of humor. Where it's like, we're going to bring humor in the most terrible things possible. But this is not something that either the humor was not executed properly, or it's just not something that can be funny. I don't know. I can't tell the difference.
They could have made this funny, way more funny if they wanted, but it's intentionally not that. I guess because they want you to see the gravity of how fucking terrible it is, because it's horrific. The things that are happening with her trapped in that basement as a dog and how much it affects the family is insane. And that's another thing that kind of bothers me, is that when a film has a plot that can be easily solved, but is not being solved because if it was, there'd be no movie, I feel like that's a weak plot. Like, you need to restructure your film so it makes more sense, or just make it more absurd, make it more crazy. Like I was saying, where, like, she's just some, like, superhuman, weird dog lady who just goes out of her mind, you know, like, make it work. Because the main issue is that she has lost her mind. And they were looking for her. They finally find her. And when they do, instead of bringing her to a psych ward, he's like, I don't want to do that because it's embarrassing. And then later on, he's like, well, it's going to ruin our family and tear us apart. Well, you're going to psychologically damage your entire family by letting them have to see their mom be a dog for, you know, extended periods of time. Like, he's already ruined all those kids. Those kids are now destroyed. Like, if this was real, it's fucking out. It's so crazy why he wouldn't. That's the biggest thing, like, why he wouldn't let his own wife go to a psych ward and get help.
Well, I mean,
but yet, if they did, the movie would be over.
Well, but then also you have the idea that he's, like, pining for this old 1950s mindset. Where,
yes,
like,
he wants everything to go back to normal. I understand
he wants it to go
that.
back to normal, but then he doesn't believe in this new psychiatric mumbo jumbo. It's like, I don't want anything to be wrong with my family.
Well, yes, yeah, exactly, because it would. So he thinks that because then he would have to look at himself and think, well, why is everything wrong? Maybe it's something involving me, like, because it's his family, like, his thing. So if it's not functioning or running well, he blames everybody else for it not running. But if he can't do that anymore, then he has to be introspective. And I get that's what the movie was doing, but
Well, okay, so
it
another
didn't
thing
need to take that long to do it.
Another thing that's difficult is, like, his lady friend from work shows up to his house unannounced while all this shit's going down.
That was a pretty great scene.
It is a pretty good scene, but, like, it's just like, it just reminds you of how much of a dickwad this guy is, because he can't even handle that. He's like, I'm never going to see you again. Goodbye. Like, he can't. He dug that grave, and he can't even face that.
Yeah.
Which is just sad.
Boy.
It's like, if the one thing that you started a different connection with, and you're not even going to be emotional with that, like, why did you do it in the first place? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to break it off, but
throughout the
for
entire
what
film?
Reason? No,
just that one scene. Whenever she just showed up, he's like,
I think he literally forgot about her.
Yeah.
Like, he forgot that she existed.
You know what's weird? maybe I have such an aversion to it because like this guy reminds me of all of my kids, and this is like as soon as they turn 18, they're out in the fucking world, and like they're just so.
You mean the kids you teach?
Yeah,
right?
the
Not
kids
your
I
actual
teach.
Kids.
Yeah, I don't have any kids. My kids, I refer to like the 170 students I have to deal with on a regular basis. Anyway, they just go out in the fucking world, and then they're so involved in their phone. Like I tell all of them all the time, like if you guys pull out your fucking phone at work, your ass is fired. Like, sorry.
Oh man.
So it's but like they have that mindset where it's just like me, instant gratification. If it's not right in front of me,
instant gratification.
Yeah, instant gratification. If it's not right in front of me, I don't know it.
Yeah.
Which it's and that's the future of this country. Which I mean, maybe that's something telling. And then the fact that he looks so young, it's like a iGen dude marrying somebody. I don't know.
Were the younger kids on their phones? I don't know if they ever showed those young kids fucking around on their phones too much. They did a lot of weird things that like. Because the family was always doing things together. Like, all the brothers and sisters would all play together. And I'm like, that fucking shit never happens.
Yeah, they were playing... They have this ritual where they all dress in, like, onesies that are, like, animal-themed. And then
play Go Fish and shit.
Go Fish is with Dad later. They, like, beat the shit out of each other and wrestle in them.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. It's not a normal family. So, we got old Bill. Bill's basically the main character, which is sad because I wanted it to be the bitch. I'd rather follow her story and her journey of madness than
I'd rather
listen to
watch
fucking Bill.
her shit and piss in the basement for a half hour.
I really did think about that though. She was in there for weeks.
Yeah.
And how boring that would be. Like if I was
Okay.
pretend to have a psychotic breakdown.
Okay. She's in there for weeks, perhaps even a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Large amounts of time
Yeah.
being spent in there, right?
Yeah.
Whenever
So
Dad
boring.
goes down to finally clean up the mess because she's been
Oh
taken
yeah, there's
away from
barely
him,
any mess.
there's no mess. He's just like, I'm just going to scrub this wall. It needs to be scrubbed.
There's like some chocolate on the wall, and he's like, "Buh,
months.
chocolate."
Months of shit and piss on the ground, and the only thing he needs to clean up is that one little bit. I'm not saying that this movie is unrealistic, but
This is where Dan's immersion in the film was broken. Everything else was fine except for this. This really
Exactly.
ruined it for him.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ. There were some great scenes with Bill though when like when he first realizes that his wife may have left him.
Yeah.
This whole sequence was fucking great. Like him trying to take his kids to school. He doesn't even know where they go to school. That was hilarious. And really sad too, like when he drops this little girl off and she's like, I don't have a lunch. He's like, I can't feed you. I can't help you. You don't have a lunch. And he just leaves. And then he forgets that his son is in the car and he starts cursing and freaking out. And his little son is like, you forgot about me. He's like, no, I didn't. He's like, you just said you did.
Yeah, you literally just said that I forgot about you.
He's like, it's a turn of phrase. He's like, to mean what? Holy shit.
I kind of like it
good.
whenever kids like they don't realize how smart they sound in that moment.
Yeah.
Where like the kid was generally he was being, you know, he was asking little kid questions, but in that moment that was the best way to counter Dad.
Mm-hmm. God. So those scenes were great. And then we got some stuff later on where the doctor shows up because they find her in the basement finally. Oh, and we have this other character, Beth, who is
The sister.
Jill's sister. And I already said this before, but I was pretty sad that she just became the stand-in mom. I guess that there's something there that they're trying to show that like if a woman or somebody who's not there to clean up and take care of things, then it's just gonna go to shit. Because like they're so bad off that the kids are like, we don't have any food, Dad. Like we're gonna die if you don't go get us food and
that
make
was
us
kind
food.
of exaggerated by the teenage daughter. Like
It's incredibly exaggerated.
She kind of has but within her mindset, like she has a mini freak out because she she's incapable of planning for the future in this moment. Like she just sees what's in front of her, and she's like,
because
no.
mom does everything.
Yeah,
that's why.
But then, you also have the doctor, like you were saying. How did you feel about that? He just kind of came in. And he's like, "Well, that happened."
Well, he's like, I gave her a sedative. I have shit on my face. I'd like to go wash it off, if that's okay. Yeah, it was interesting. I'm surprised he was going to be so confidential about it. I don't know. I'd be like, you need to take this lady to a fucking hospital or psych ward immediately.
And like,
then they get the specialist.
The minute
and she's like,
absurdity. That's the weird thing, where it's like, you're going to be selective with the absurdity, where it's... that kind of bothers me.
When it fits the plot.
Yeah.
So when we need to keep this plot on the rails, it becomes as absurd as it needs to be to keep this movie going. Because like I said, we could fix it at any fucking time. There's even characters
the doctor could have immediately ended it. But then again, if the doctor immediately ended it, that would have been a new... Because, okay, let's think about this. And maybe this is a weird movie pitch, but it doesn't have to be funny, I guess. Let's fix the film. Doctor comes in, sees this. Okay. He's like, she needs some help, dude. And we're going to take her away from you, even though you don't want her to. Mm-hmm. Bill is already the main character. That's a new conflict for Bill. He has to now deal with the fact that she is going to be taken away from him and he's going to be embarrassed. Mm-hmm. That's a brand new conflict that's not as absurd. But it still works. So I don't know. It's...
You know what would have been fun, too, is if... Because when she escapes... I was like, oh, cool. Now we're going to actually have some interactions with her. She's going to be outside. Maybe she'll meet some new people. You know, maybe the husband can, like, learn to appreciate his wife by, like, hunting for her, you know, tracking her down. That could have been the movie. The whole movie could have been him with the sister, him, like, re-understanding his relationships with everybody and realizing what a fucking shithole he was. Like, what if him and his kids went on a road trip to go find their mom, who's now a crazy dog lady? I don't know. That could have been better than them just chilling at the house playing Uno.
So that would have been much better. So let's get into why I think this, because now we've kind of said it.
We're winding down, so we can just talk about whatever.
I just want to talk about, because you kind of bring up, like, you know, my issue with this film is the way it doesn't, the way it's not like a coming of age story for Bill, where it's like he doesn't go on a road trip with his kids to find the wife.
I mean, you don't need to do a road trip to make a movie work. But I don't know what else to do.
I know what your point is. I know what my point is. Because it didn't do that and it did something else, I didn't like the ending. Again, Jared and Dan hate endings. So Jill's mom and dad come in and they get custody of her until she gets better.
Yeah. And
she's away for some undisclosed amount of time, and then she comes back, or she has a visitation with Bill, and the kids get taken away by Beth. Like, it's mommy and daddy time now.
Yeah, which was creepy. I thought they were going to have sex. Thank God they didn't.
Oh, well, I didn't think they were going to have sex until after the dog park. But, so now that I've said it, dog park, let's just talk about it. So they have this really, really, really weird scene where...
I like this scene, though.
What, the dog park scene?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to tell you why I don't like her? Do you want me to tell you why I don't like it first? Or do you want to tell me why you like it first?
It was a little long, but I liked it because it was like his ultimate way of submitting to his wife, and of just being like, hey, like, I'm going to now do whatever I can to help and nurture and love you and be there for you. It was like his way of really like what's like the ultimate way to prostrate yourself in front of somebody.
Absolutely.
For what they're doing.
Great explanation. But here's mine.
Okay.
Why the fuck did he take her to a dog park in the first place if he doesn't want her to be a dog?
Yeah, that's kind of mean.
It's awful. It was like, as soon as he did it, I'm like, this guy is the epitome of garbage.
But what it's trying to show is that he's not afraid. He's not ashamed of his family or his wife anymore. So it's supposed to be him taking his wife to a dog park. But it's also disrespectful and mean.
Okay, so yeah, I see there's both sides of that, but like if the whole lesson to be learned here is you're a piece of shit and you treat your wife like a dog so she turns into one. So the way you get out of it is by taking her to a dog park and treating her like a literal fucking dog.
Yeah. Well, he thinks that she wants to be a dog, so he's like, if you want to be like a dog, you could be that for as long as you want, and I'll take care of you, is basically what it says. And that's kind of the main thing, is that she just needs to be taken care of sometimes, because she hasn't been.
Okay.
So
So
everyone likes to be taken care of.
To be fair, that is what Jared just said is an excellent argument. He says that whatever she wants to be, he will take care of her as long as. So
Yeah. So he's trying to
the
come to
counterpoint.
terms with what
I
she
like that
is.
counterpoint a lot. I just feel like I feel like it's too anxious. I feel like.
Oh no, I thought it was ridiculous. I'm like, this is fucked up. You're taking her to a dog park.
Yeah. So
But I get what they were trying to do.
So basically, there may be a message that's positive in there, like Jared said, but the first impression you get, the entire time the guy is a total dickwad, and then he takes her to a dog park. It's like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do with you. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then when he's pretending to be a dog, like I said, that goes on for a long time.
Oh, so long. But okay, he's also during this time he's also patronizing her. He's like, yeah, you're gonna go make friends. Like, you know what I mean?
think that's his character. I think he doesn't understand this so much that he thinks, like
So,
I said,
exactly.
she wants to be a
He's
dog. I'll treat her like a dog, and I'm trying to
oblivious.
appease to her.
He is
He's
too
very
oblivious, and he's too much of an like his obliviousness makes him more of an asshole to me. I think. Mm-hmm. Like he's just not. And, that's 100% true because I fucking hate oblivious people. Like they have no regard for anything.
Dan, every sitcom dad character is this oblivious. Like they're all overweight idiots who can't do anything with other wives. And this movie definitely has that.
Yeah, okay, but okay, let's
this
say,
guy is so
but, okay,
fucking useless.
Sitcom
without his wife.
Situational comedy. This, I mean, they have some comedic elements to it, but largely his role doesn't get any laughs. So everything he does that's bumbling and stupid has very serious negative ramifications.
Well, it's a dark comedy.
It's not even comedy though. It's just like this is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I mean, like I said, the stuff with the kids I thought was funny. When he started talking about his dick, wishing it was smaller, that was funny. Though random. What was the point he was trying to make with that?
I don't fucking know. I stopped.
I didn't get it either.
I stopped trying to figure it out.
Is that like if his dick was smaller, it wouldn't have turned his wife into a dog lady? I didn't understand that.
Or
at
make
all.
him resistible.
Cheat on her?
Yeah, like everybody wants a piece of him. That's as far as I went, but it still didn't make any sense to bring it up in that moment because he's talking to his wife's sister about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I got a confession to
try
make.
to have
It's like-
sex with his wife's sister. I
Yeah.
really thought he was going to do that.
Yeah. You know what?
Kind of glad he didn't.
That was one of the things I definitely thought about during that scene. Like, is he trying to seduce her right now? Like,
Yeah,
it was
I was
so
like,
weird.
Jesus Christ. Well, because that actually would have been interesting because he's like trying to replace his wife with the sister. That could have been an interesting angle, but then he would be irredeemable. I mean,
Like,
I
all
already think
them
he
dogs.
is.
Yeah, exactly. So
He's already super irredeemable.
he's super irredeemable. Like that scene, the ending that we talked about. I don't think the ending works, and I don't think he should have got a good ending. Like,
Yes. So the thing at the end is there after the dog park thing where he prostrates himself. Basically, they both go to sleep, and Bill wakes up, and Jill is in the bed, not like sleeping on the ground like a dog, and she looks normal almost, and then she kind of smiles. Mm-hmm. But I think it's supposed to be a happy smile, but I was terrified.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
a really
ambiguous.
crazy smile.
It's ambiguous. I kind of
Yeah.
I liked the ending image. I just don't like the ending of the narrative where it's like I get off scot-free and my name's Bill.
There's also a weird thing with like mental health where, I mean, I don't think you just zap out of being, like a dog. Like, I'm not sure how that works. Like the psychosis of it. I don't know. So overall, Dan, it sounds like you didn't enjoy this movie very much. And I think that's because you are a piece of shit man who doesn't get
Bitches.
You're the problem, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I know that.
You know what?
But
And I'm the solution.
Well, I knew I was the problem way before I even started this podcast. Not in the context of being a piece of shit, but like I'm pretty out there, you know.
You are pretty. So yeah, this movie.
Okay,
I appreciate what it's trying to do.
I
It
didn't
do it very-
hate it
very
100%.
good job.
I enjoyed my
alright.
journey. I just think that the ending was not good, and it should not have done that at all. If it had a
I just
bad
felt like
ending,
there's not enough premise. Like the
I don't-
premise is weak.
I
in this
feel
movie.
like okay, I will hear that argument. I'll somewhat agree with it, but this film could be fixed if it didn't have a happy ending. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, yeah, for
that's
sure.
That's what
Like,
it comes
this-
down to.
But yeah, what I'm saying is this movie could have been 30 minutes long and probably would have been a much better film.
Yeah, I can
just
see
don't
that
think
too.
there's enough here that they did to warrant the runtime of this movie for what happens. I don't know. So let's talk about our next film, Danny. What could it be? I'll spin the wheel of
I'm going
movies.
through my Netflix queue. and-
Wheel of movies. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the movie that we should learn. Ta 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 ta.
Animaniacs reference.
You have selected Bullet Head.
Bullet Head. What the fuck?
Oh,
John
God.
Malkovich.
Yep. 2018, motherfucker.
What the fuck is this?
Oscar winner
I don't
Adrian
like him.
Brody, John Malkovich, Antonio Banderas deliver the action in this riveting
Oh,
crime
dude, there's a
story
fucking
filled
Culkin
with
in this.
pulse-pounding twists and turns.
There's a Culkin in this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
baby.
my Culkin on.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin?
No, his brother Rory.
Ugh. All right. Guess we'll have to settle. After a heist gone tragically wrong, 3 career criminals find themselves trapped in a warehouse with the law closing in. Whoa! But instead of a warehouse, it was a warehouse. Ooh,
Netflix
spooky.
says, but find a worse threat as they fight to stay alive.
Oh, I hope it's a bitch crossover. It's all in universe, baby. Yeah.
Bullet Head.
We gotta call the bitch in to kill this warehouse. Dun, 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 dun. I really thought that the bitch was gonna be some like superhero character. I don't know why I thought that.
Well, no.
that have been a better movie?
Yeah, because here's why you thought that. Because you keep preferencing the word bitch with the word the. It's not the bitch, it's just bitch.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. Anyways, guys, I hope this was something. Find us where you're gonna find us. Old Boys _ podcast on Twitter. We are on
Instagram.
Stitcher, Podbean. What's the one the kids love? iTunes. We're on all those things, and it should be Old Boys Podcast. Search it, you'll find it. We got an email recently saying we're in some weird search engine too, which is kind of cool. Some like podcasting search engine. Yeah, so that's neat. We're on whatever that was. I don't remember the name of it.
I haven't looked at our email in a bit.
Actually, let me see. I'm gonna find it right now. Here, I'll go to the website. It's called Listen Notes. So we're on Listen Notes. I think it just pulls RSS feed, but hey, we're on there. That's fun. So I love you guys. I apologize for everything I've said during this episode. And Dan, you have the final word.
The guy's name who sent us this email is Winbin Fang. Winbin Fang.
Dan, don't be racist.
Well, that's my final word right there. Winbin Fang.